DIY friends, I am so happy you're here and doing a new DIY together with me. Today I will make from tumbling tower blocks. I am going to try to make some Christmas houses. This is the first time I'm going to make Christmas houses from tumbling tower blocks, so it will be an experiment, but I am really happy to do it together with you. If you like this content and you like Christmas all year round, it can be anything. It can be a DIY, a shopping, a haul or something else, but of course it has to do with Christmas. So if you like this content, I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel, and if you like more home decor, then come over to our main channel Deco Easy and Deco Easy Shorts. So enough talking, let's jump into our Christmas DIY. Here you see the tumbling tower blocks I will use. Here they call them stacking blocks, and you see they are a little bit smaller than the ones from the Dollar Tree, but you can buy them anywhere just as you buy them very cheap. Maybe Goodwill also has a second hand, so it's always better to get them as cheap as you can. So for now we are going to try to make this into a Christmas house. Here you see already I have my tumbling tower blocks on my table. I'm going to take 3 blocks and I'm going to glue them together, and I make 4 of this kind. So I will do 1 this way, just glue it together and squeeze it very hard and remove the glue which is coming out in between the blocks. Again, another layer and also squeeze it together so you get a nice square block, you see already. And we are going to make 4 of them to build the under piece of our house. You see I have my 4 squares. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do 1 this way, 1 this way, and 1 this way and this way, so we get a little bit of a nice structure. So I'm going to glue all 4 of them together. First I'm going to do the sides and just of course squeeze it very hard so you get a nice line. We are going to glue this side and we are going to glue this one together. Try to get it as even as you can, because my tumbling blocks are not all of them the same size. They did their best, but there are sometimes tumbling blocks in which are not the same of the right size, so you get not always the greatest finish, so you have to be careful. Maybe the tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree will work fine, I don't know exactly, but here they are not always the same size, so I do my best. And you see here I have to squeeze very hard to get the lines in between. I remove the glue, of course, also on the back side, and now we have a nice square. We are going to do now the roof of our but I'm going to do the roof. I'm going to set it this way, and I'm going to use some blocks, 2 of the bigger size, and I take 1 block a little bit smaller. You see this one is a little bit smaller than the other one. You see here also I did cut out a little piece of 1 of the tumbling tower blocks, or else if you take 3 of the same size, and from the Dollar Tree they are even bigger, then you will get such a big roof top of at least the roof is starting, then you get the in-between layer, it will be too big. So that's why I did a smaller one in between. So I will glue this on the half of the square, and I'm going to do this one in between, so we get a little bit more of a shape of a house. So I'm going to do a little bit over here. I will say a lot of little bits, I'm so sorry. I do my best, and I will get it in between so we get on both sides the same measurement. Squeeze it and remove the glue. And of course you have to wait until your glue is dry. I always am very impatient, so most of the time I always get starting when I'm not supposed to. So now we're going to do a little bit glue over here, and we do a normal tumbling tower block over here. And also again, keep it in place for a little moment until it's dried up. And we're going to do the other one. And over here. And now we're going to glue this one also in the middle. The next step will be that we are going to put our house, our frame this way. We are going to take again the same measurements like we have on top of here. So 2 bigger ones and 1 smaller one, the same size as you used for the thing, only we put it this way. We turn them and we're going to do them straight up, but of course again a little bit in the middle, so you get a little frame over here and a little frame on the back side. So I'm going to do some glue and then I can show it to you a little bit better. So I'm just going to glue this in the middle of our, try to get it as straight as I can. And now we're going to do the bigger blocks this way. And try to get them in line. And on the other side we do the same. Just try to measure it out that you are with all of them on a straight line. I'll show to you in a moment. I hope you have a little bit patience. You see, this is what I mean. I'll show to you a little bit closer. And of course, don't mind the glue wires. So we have the first line of our roof. Now we are going to take 2 of the normal size and we are going to glue them together. So first we're going to do the tops and we are going to glue this together. I'll show it to you a little bit better this way. And remove the glue immediately. That's always better than you do it later. But if you do it later, most of the times the core piece will break. And we're going to glue this on top of this one. Also again in a straight line. So we get a nice Christmas house. And we are going to take now 1 block and we are going to glue this in the middle of this one. Also here. And now I did cut out 1 block and I did them in half. So I got a nice little piece and I'm going to glue this one on top of here. And I'm going to glue this, of course, again in the middle of our roof. And now we get a nice shape of a house. And of course you can do it in a different way if you like another shape of the house better. But this is my first frame of my house. And this is also a size you still can use in your tier tray or just in your tray to give it in your kitchen a nice look. And for our stand we just glue 2 blocks together. And these 2 blocks we are just gluing together again. So we get a nice 4-piece together. And now we can glue our house on top of it, but we're going to do that a little bit later because if I do it right now, it would be very difficult to paint your house and then work it because we're going to make a wreath on top of it. But you see, this is a little bit how it will look like. And I am really happy how my first house, at least my first little house for Christmas, turned out. So what we're going to do right now is just paint it. So you see already I have everything ready for my paint. I have my white chalk paint. I always do it in this kind of container. I think it's a little bit better to work with than in your tin. So I'm going to, in your can, just how you call it. And I'm going to paint it in the, like you see, in the white color. But you can do any color you like. And maybe later on I will do the roof another color. I don't know, but I have to see. But don't forget also to paint your stand. Later on we glue this, like I said, we are gluing this under our house. But first I give it a couple of coats of my white chalk paint. I have to bother you. You have to see how much your decor always changes when you use your paint on your decor. I really love the white color, and it even looks more like a house if you give it another color. So it doesn't matter any color you like, but you see already how much it does change. So I won't bother you again before we do the next step. See already our house is, I did paint it in 2 times. What I'm going to do right now, because I want to give it an accent, and normally I will distress my house. I don't know if I will do it later, but for now I'm going to take my gray marker. This is just a permanent marker, and this is a metallic color, and I'm going to give the layer inside of here, I'm going to give a gray color, just to do it a little bit different than normally. So I'm just going to color it in the gray tone, and only the front and the top. So I will do this out of camera, or else it will take much too long. You see the middle of the line of my roof I made in the metallic silver color, gray color, just how you call it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little roll of tape, and I'm going to place it over here in the middle. And I'm only going to use, with my gray color, I'm going to make the half of the round until here and here to make a round door. I was thinking, what can I use to make a nice square, nice round? But I'm going to try to do it this way, and then I'm going to just do the lines over here. I'm going to do straight, but only for this purpose I'm going to use half of the roll of my tape, and you can use washi tape, it doesn't matter, at least it has a nice round. And I'm going to draw it over. If it will work or not, we will see. Like I said earlier, it is an experiment, this little house, and maybe when you see it that you think, no, this is not my house, I would love to have a different house. So I'm going to make a little line over here and over here. You see, now I show it to you a little bit closer. This is the half, and now I'm going to do the rest. Straight lines down, and then I'm going to color it in. So you see how my little house is already turned out. And of course I made the door this way, but you can do anything you like. Of course I did a little bit of the black lining over here to look if I like a little bit of the distressing on it. And I think I will like it. So I'm going to distress a little bit the sides. So I'm going to start with my black marker. And I'm just going to do a little bit sideways over here and over here. Just do what feels right. And of course on the sides of the roof we are going totally around our house, and later on we're going to do with the brown marker, but first the black and a little bit over here, just to give it a little bit of, yeah, rustic. I don't know if you, a little bit of a rustic feeling for the Christmas season. And I know this is my first house, and I really am struggling a little bit how I want to have it. I think you already noticed it, that I am really struggling a little bit how I want to make it look like, because he's not totally the way I want it to be. So, but at the end we will get there. But that's always with me and my DIYs. I'm always have to find my way in it. So we will see if I succeed or not. So, of course, don't forget the back side of your house, because you put them on a stand. So also the back side, you have to do a little bit of distressing. Here you see how I distress the front. What I'm going to do with my brown marker, I'm going to tip little places over the black, so it even gives it a more old feeling, that it is supposed to look like a really old house. So I am going to do the rest, and then I show you how it's looking like, and then we're going to try to make a Christmas wreath. Here you see, with a little bit of the brown color, I distressed the house, and what we're going to do, we are now going to decorate the finishing touch from our Christmas house. At least it has to be a Christmas house. You see here, this is not looking like one Christmas house. This is only the base. So we're going to try to do our best with some greenery to make a Christmas house out of it. I have my house ready. I have some couple of green picks. Of course, I always use them from every Christmas. So I buy branches in the sale time, and then I'm going to cut them short, and then I'm going to use them in my DIYs, and of course in my decor. So first I'm going to do, I'm going to get a couple of the bigger ones, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a kind of a garland around our door, because I am not satisfied about my door. I really, I can say I hate my door, but I am not a great paint or drawer. There's someone who can draw very nice. So I'm going to give it a garland. What I'm going to do, I did already want to try it out. I am going to take my scissors, and I'm going to take one of the bigger branches, and I'm just going to cut the sides around in the middle. You see a little thread going from plastic from where your I don't even know how you call it. Yeah, your branch is from. You see already. Now you have it in the middle. You see it over here. We is shorten this, and we are going to short this a little bit, so we won't be that big, or else it will be a very big garland for a little short door. So that's not what we want. So, and you see, now we're going to try to get it. I'm going to turn it around for you, and now I'm going to show it to you a little bit better. I'm going to use 2 of them, is more than enough, and I'm going to glue them over it, so around the sides of our door. So, but if you just like me and you're not a great drawer, just always camouflage it with some greenery. You always get away with it. So I am going to glue both of them on top of here, and then we already have almost our door finished. So you see, this is how the little garland around the door turned out. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to make as little as I can a bow, and I will use my red velvet ribbon. It's a very small ribbon, and I'm going to try to make as little bow as I can, but we will see if I will succeed. It's a very simple, just the way you tie your shoes. I'm going to try to get it this way inside of it, so I have the velvet on the outside. I know it is very small for you to see. I show you in a moment a little bit better. So I have to get to try and just make it as small as I can. Again, just trying to get the velvet outside. And this one, you see, it's already starting to look like a little bow, but I still don't have the velvet still outside. So I'm really going to struggle again with it. So, and again, just pull a little bit back and just try to get it as small as you can. And I'm going to turn around this one and this one, the velvet, and I'm going to cut it out. I will try to get a fishtail on it, I hope. And you see, just this way. And this is eventually how it is turned out. And you see, if you will place it on top of your above your door, and it really looks very cute. So I will glue this on top of here, and then we are going to make a garland over here. See already how he's looking with a little bow on top of it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take a little bit the same color greenery, and I'm going to cut them also a little bit smaller, and I'm going to lay down a couple of them over here, and so we get a nice green yeah, also a little garland, at least a little edge around your roof, so it gives an even more festive feeling. You see already I did cut out 2 of the smaller ones and 2 of the bigger greenery. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay them on the side of here, just that they will attach almost in the middle, so a little bit this way. I'm going to do some glue on the first layer, and I'm going to lay my greenery down and keep it in place for a little moment. And of course we are going to do this way also, and we are going to lay it down again and keep it also in place. And now we are going to get the little bit of the smaller one, and this one, these 2 are also a little bit of the lighter green, so to get a little bit more structure inside of your house, we are going to glue this inside here and this also inside here. So a little bit glue over here and a little bit on the tip of your greenery. Just place it inside and keep it in place for a little while, and try to get it in the middle. And we are going to do the other one also in a little in the back of your greenery, and place it in the middle and let them connect to each other. And later on, when you think the greenery is a little bit too long, you just go and get your scissors and just cut out little pieces of your greenery just around here. If you think this is too much for me, or use a little bit different greenery. I already fitting in my line wires. You see already, this is already a little bit how I like my garden. I'm going to try to get it more down on the other one, because I think I don't want to have it standing up, so I want to get it a little bit down. And then we are going to do some red berries. I have a little branch from my red berries, and I'm going to place them inside. But first I'm going to glue this one a little bit down. And keep it in place for a moment. I always say sometimes people think my DIYs are a little bit too long and I explain a little bit too much. If you don't like it, please go skip forward. I don't want to bother no one with my DIY. So if you only want to see the end result, just go ahead and go to the end of the DIY. But for everyone who enjoys it and see me struggling in my DIY, just I hope you stay tuned. This is one. Now I have to get away of my glue wires. So, and I'm going to take some red berries. And you see already this is a little bit of the same color red as my ribbon. And you see this is one big mess with some glue. So do it a little bit smarter than I do. Don't get your scissors in the way of your glue, because I had my glue gun under my scissors. That's not a great thing. So I'm going to get, I think, 3 of them, and this one. And I take the ones with, yeah, they look a little bit like a not a pineapple, but like there's a little fruit which is looking a little bit the same. I don't know how the fruit is called in English, but I hope you will let me know in the comments. And just squeeze it down and keep it in place for a little moment. And of course my DIYs are most of the time always a little bit chaos. I'm so sorry about that, but I always find my way in my DIY, and at the end most of the times it looks okay. But at first, like we did with this house, at first I'm always struggling, how do I get it right? Because you want to give also your own twist on it. And just keep it in place. The only thing what still is missing is just a little word with Merry Christmas, and I want to see where I can place that. Maybe I will use one block of my tumbling towel blocks and I will do it over here. So I have to think about it, but for now I think he looks very Christmassy, and he still even looks more like a house. And if you imagine that you still have your stand under it, he looks better and better at the moment. So I'm going to figure out to do here a little sign with Merry Christmas. And I already have my sign. I am going to make one of those tumbling towel blocks. I will do them in the black color, and I will just do it with some marker, so I am a little bit faster than that. And I have still a little sign I printed out for my Christmas snowman. So, and I'm going to use only the word Christmas and maybe a farmhouse. So I will look if I can get it together. So I'm just cut it out. So always keep your prints, when you did print out a little bit too much, just keep them. I always have just such a thick packages with prints. I did always print it out. Most of the times I print out too much, but I always keep them. So now I'm going to cut out this one. If you want to have this one also, you can find them in our free printables. The link you will find always in our description box on this channel, but also on our other channels. So I will cut it out, and I'm going to Mod Podge it on top of here, and then we are going to place it just under our top of our garland above, so we get a nice black display also on the top. But I show you that in a moment. Is better than my English. I really promise you that. So you see my black little wooden block, and I've cut out my little sign, and it is Farmhouse Christmas, and I'm going to Mod Podge it on top of here. I just use the simple Mod Podge, but of course you can use school glue or something else. It doesn't matter, just what you like. And I only do it on the front. And you see, I'm just going to glue this on top of here and just wait until it is dried. You see, now we have our own little sign. So you see, our little sign is finished, and what we're going to do, I'm going to place it a little bit behind the greenery, and now I'm going to glue this together. I know you see it backwards, but that's just my telephone. In a moment when we see the reveal, then you see the right way, farmhouse Christmas. But I think it looks very nice, and especially because it's black, it gives a little more pop-up on your little house. And we have to glue this under here, and so we have our own standing house. So at the end, I'm really happy how it turned out. It was a struggle, I admit, but I am really happy how it turned out. So in a moment, you see the reveal of this nice little cute house. Here you see the finished result of our homemade little farmhouse Christmas house, and I am so happy how he turned out. It was a little bit of a struggle. In a moment I show it to you a little bit closer, but first I want to thank you again for being here doing this DIY together with me. I know sometimes it's always a little bit chaos with my with my English, but at the end together we always coming out with another DIY. So thank you so much. If you like this content, I hope you will consider subscribing to my Christmas all year round channel, and if you like more regular decor, then come on over to our main channel Deco Easy, and for shorts you come on over to our shorts channel Deco Easy Shorts. Enough talking. I wish you all a beautiful day, and now I show you our little Christmas house a little bit closer. See you in our next DIY.